Namaste friends, I am back after a long gap and I will talk about the Muhurta of Ayodhya Ram Mandir Pran Pratishtha. Is it a major civilizational event or a blunder as criticized by some Swamijis? First, why I've been away. In August, our daughter's wedding was finalized and we were busy in the last few months with that. We did the Nichitartham, our engagement ceremony in Greater Boston in September 2023 and the wedding was conducted in December 2023 in Hyderabad, India. So that kept us really busy. And while I was in India, we conducted a public Homa and a Homa workshop. It was done on Dattatreya Jayanti in Bhaginagaram or Hyderabad on December 26. I did a big Homa to various devatas. About 500 to 600 people attended and they meditated along, chanted along and meditated. And after that, several individuals, couples and families did a Homa by themselves in 200 separate Homakundas. It was really pleasant and it really inspired me to do many such events in India in coming years. There is something different about India. Also in August, on August 26, 27, just before our daughter's Nichitartham, we did a Homa workshop at S3 Gosala in Memphis, USA. Again, I did a Homa where everybody chanted along and meditated, and later people did a Homa by themselves in their own Homakundas. So it was again very nice. But there's something special about India. In any case, to know about future events, I may or may not announce them on YouTube, so please follow me on Twitter, which is now known as X. My handle is Homam108. So if you follow me there, I will definitely announce ahead any public events in US or India or elsewhere. Also, another thing is in the last 7-8 months, Rahu was very close to my natal second lord, which is important for predictions. So I had a couple of really terrible predictions. Karnataka elections, I got totally wrong. And later, though I got Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh elections right in a video made for another channel, I was totally wrong on KCR chart. So there were a few failures. So at a time when Rahu is over your prediction house lord, it's better to keep quiet. So it was probably a good thing that I lay low. Now Rahu has moved away. So I'll try to be more active. Now, is the Muhurta good or bad? Astrologically, the Muhurta is really good. First thing is there are a lot of metrics that decide whether a Muhurta is good or not. Unfortunately, all the metrics, all the parameters cannot be good in any Muhurta. Several astrologers, different astrologers pick several set of parameters and try to optimize them. But the thing is, the parameters that I consider most important are pretty decent in this chart. This is not the best Muhurta based on objective criteria, but this is a pretty good Muhurta. But subjective criteria are even more important. Looking at the planetary positions in the Rashi chart, Navamsa chart, etc. at the time of the Muhurta and making sure that those are good is even more important than those objective criteria. And based on those, this is a very good Muhurta. So overall, my assessment is this is a very good Muhurta. And this Muhurta basically brings the blessings of Devatas and it basically makes things smooth going forward. Those are the two main focal points of this Muhurta, the 4th and 9th house, clear direction going forward, no obstacles, and also blessings of the Devatas. And overall, the Muhurta has enough strength to make this a very prominent place of worship going forward, kind of like Vatican, Mecca, etc. for other religions. This can become like Varanasi. This can become a very important place of worship. And also you have to remember that Ramachandra is the Dharmavatara. He is the Maryada Purushottam. And Parashara Maharshi says in Brihat Parashara Hora Shastram that Rama and Yudhishthira were the most perfect in the matter of dharma. Their Dharmasthana Lord was in a particular special Vaiseshikamsa. So in the chapter on Vaiseshikamsa, he says that. So Rama is an epitome of dharma. So installing Rama is, and also because it is triggering the house of dharma in the Muhurta as well as in India's charts, I strongly believe that this will be a new dharmic renaissance in India. This will this will make India this will make India more dharmic, and also it will make India play a prominent role in shaping the course of the world. India's sense of dharma will basically affect the course of the world in the coming decade or two. So this is overall a very positive muhurta from the perspective of the chart of India's independence chart. And later, if you hang in till the second half, I will show some interesting correlations between the muhurta and India's independence chart, and how this triggers some really positive things in India's independence chart. So I believe that this is a very positive muhurta, and especially from the perspective of triggering some latent good karmas in the chart of India. Basically, before independence, in the previous incarnations, whatever good karmas this land did, they will be triggered by this muhurta. So I see this as a very positive thing. And also from the perspective of the charts of Sri Narendra Modi and Yogi Adityanath, this is a very good muhurta for them. And based on their own charts, their own annual charts and dasas within the annual chart, it is very clear that their own purva punya, their own punya from previous lives is being triggered at this time, and it is a blessing that they are involved in this event. It does not really, even though some people are saying that this is a bad thing they are doing, this is political and this will backfire, etc. The chart shows that it is actually it is their dharma, their blessings of devatas as a result of their purpunya that is being triggered around this time. So I see this as a very positive thing for them, and also this is triggering some important combinations in their own charts. So this will be very positive for them going forward. The blessings of past are creating this event, and the blessings from this event will play out very positively for them going forward, and particularly for Sri Yogi Adityanath. His chart has some similarities with the chart of Ramachandra, and Sri Ram's being involved in any Ram Mandir is very auspicious for Yogi Adityanath. It's kind of like a remedial measure, an upay for him. So doing that will help him karmically. So this will really enable a meteoric rise of Yogi Adityanath in the coming year. So this is very positive for Sri Yogi Adityanath. And some people may be nervous because a couple of Shankaracharyas and a few Swamijis have objected to this muhurta. They basically, as I said, the muhurta is not perfect, it has some weaknesses, but the positives far outweigh the negatives. So their objection is not from an astrological perspective. I think one of the main objections was that the temple structure is not complete. You can't do Pran Pratishtha in an incomplete temple. And those who know Shastras have looked at the Shastras and said that there is nothing like that given anywhere in Shastras. And also a couple of respected Shankaracharyas, particularly from Kanchi Kamakoti Pitha and the Sringeri Pitha, have supported this this event, and they basically they said they fully support Narendra Modi ji, and they gave their blessings, and they did not agree with this particular objection. So those who are nervous can take some consolation from that, and also look at it logically. See, unlike some modern religions, Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma is not really irrational. It's not based on somebody's whims, somebody saying, I say so. There is a clear logic and structure behind various aspects of Sanatana Dharma. So what is Pran Pratishtha really? Pran really means life force, and Pratishtha means establishment. So you are establishing life force. In other words, there is a murti, and in that murti you are invoking a life force. You are establishing a life force in that murti. So that is kind of like putting life force in a body. When God puts life force in a zygote or a small baby, that body never stops evolving. The body keeps continuously changing, growing and evolving. So even though the life force or Atma can be put in a body even before body is complete, so to say, similarly, before a temple structure is complete, you can do Pran Pratishtha in the murti there. And there are many precedents If you look at the Shastras, Mahabharata, Puranas, etc., there are many precedents where you just take a dilapidated structure or a hut and you have a murti there, you just invoke God and you worship God in that murti or shivling, etc. So you don't really need a completed temple. So that's really the way I look at it, it's a fake objection. It's not really a valid objection. So what exactly their motivation is, why they are saying it, only they will know. We cannot speculate, but it doesn't really seem logical. Another objection I heard is that they are doing it in Pushyamasa. Well, Pushyamasa is not really a good month for doing this in terms of lunar month. But as I said, you can never find a Muhurta that satisfies all parameters. And that is not really a major parameter. That's really like a secondary or tertiary parameter. Another objection is that people who are not Brahmanas by birth will be touching the Murti, so it's not auspicious. Well, different temples have different styles. Some temples in South India, only the priest will touch the murti, nobody else will touch the murti. But a lot of temples in North India, the culture there is everybody touches the murti. So I'm not really sure why that's such a big deal. And more importantly, when we talk about the Varnashrama dharma has been corrupted in the last millennium, particularly last millennia, couple of millennia, but particularly the last few centuries. And this was really especially distorted by British to divide and rule India. And if you look at our Shastras say, Janmana Jayate Shudraha Samskarat Vijavuchyate. I think it's from Skanda Purana. What it means is, by birth everybody is a Shudra. And by samskaras, by your attitude, aptitude and conduct, you become a Brahmana. So like that, it's not that just because you are born to be a Brahmana, you become a Brahmana. Of course, if you are born to a true Brahmana and you are brought up in a particular way, there is a good chance that you will end up being a Brahmana, but you don't have to be born to be a Brahmana to be a Brahmana, like Vishwamitra Maharshi or Valmiki Maharshi. So, all these objections are really coming from a shallow place, in my opinion. And in any case, a couple of them are Shankaracharya, so let us not personally criticize them, because they do represent the lineage of Adi Shankara. And Adi Shankara, the kind of person he is, we cannot even fathom. The intellect he had, the kind of spiritual clarity he had, we cannot even come anywhere close to fathoming it. He is in a different league altogether. So, because they are tracing their lineage to him, let us give some respect to them. Let's not criticize them. But the views they express, we can criticize those views. We don't have to get personal, but the views do not make sense. And in any case, as Durgaspata Siddhi says, Gyaninam api chetansi devi bhagavati hisa balada akrishya mohaya mahamaya prayachati. The Divine Mother, her great power is capable of deluding even the wisest men and women. So, why the mother is engaging in a particular play, we can never understand. But let me say one thing. If anybody is nervous because of the criticism from some Swamijis about the Muhurta, about this event, because some people have even gone to the extent of saying that if this is not done right, some evil spirits will come in the Murti instead of Sri Ramchandra, etc. That is really, that can of course scare some people, but let me give you confidence. Astrologically, based on correlating various things, chart of Narendra Modi, chart of Yogi Adityanathji, chart of India, the Muhurta chart, correlating various things, I am very confident that this is an epoch-making event. This is a very positive event for India and the world, and this is a major civilizational milestone. And Ayodhya, Ujjain, Varanasi, these are all really important kshetras for the Hindu civilization. And establishing Sri Ramchandra at Ayodhya will result in a dharmic resurgence in India, and it will also result in a rise of India as a nation in the world. And I already talked about India's 20-year chart in the past. I will also soon make a chart on why India suffered in the last 1,000 years and why India is on the verge of a rise, a total renaissance, etc. I'll make a video on it. But the thing is, based on these based on this Muhurta as well as just based on looking at India's mundane charts, I'm very confident that India will rise and this event will contribute to India's rise. This is a very positive thing. So, one more thing is at the time of Pran Pratishtha, what is really important is the ability is not what the Varna is or Muhurta, etc. And whether the temple structure is complete or not. These are all secondary. The primary thing is the sincerity and devotion of the people involved in the Pran Pratishtha and how much life force is actually established in that Murti. So that is the most important thing. And I'm very glad that Sri Narendra Modi ji has taken up an Anushthan, a 11-day Anushthan going into this event. That will definitely help. And moreover, some really great people are involved in the Pran Pratishtha. So I'm very confident that Pran Pratishtha will be done well and a nice presence of Devata will be established there. And one more thing, irrespective of how much presence is established at the time, as thousands and thousands of people go to the temple and with reverence, sincerity and devotion pray to Devata. Imagine that Rama is there. Eventually the presence will keep growing and growing. And when that presence crosses a threshold, it will have a major impact on Uttar Pradesh, India, and also the world. And astrologically, I am very confident that this is happening at a good time, and this will be really good for India. So, if you are nervous, please remove that nervousness and be confident, be positive, optimistic, and enjoy the event. And may the temple of Sri Ramchandra in Ayodhya play a part in a dharmic renaissance in India. Now, let us look at the Muhurta chart. This is the date and time that was picked for the Pran Pratishtha. If you look at the chart, it is in the lunar month is Pushya Masa, which is not really auspicious. That is a valid critique coming from some quarters. And the Tithi is Shukla Dwadasi, and some people wonder why you are doing it in Dwadasi, because Dwadasi is considered a Dagda Tithi. But the thing is, it is actually auspicious for installing a new Murti, a new idol in your puja room or doing Prana Pratishtha, etc. Dwadasi is a Tithi ruled by Mahavishnu, and it is perfectly fine here. And if you look at the Vara is Somvara ruled by Chandra, as well as Karna is ruled by Chandra. And Chandra is the fourth lord of clear direction and comfort, Sukha, and he is exalted in the second house. So, the fire element and the earth element are basically in a good place, and the Kala at the time of the event is Guru Kala, Jupiter, and Guru is the ninth lord in the Lagna in the chart. So it is basically excellent for dharmic work or something relating to a temple or a devata. And if you look at the Hora lord is Venus. He is a Kendradipati in a Kona, and also he is taking part in a Raj Yoga with Mars. So yoga is also a good yoga. And if you look at the nakshatra is Mrigasira. Again, Mrigasira is one of the auspicious nakshatras for Pran Pratishtha, and also it is ruled by Mars, who is in the ninth house. So there is a lot of ninth house connection for various of the Panchanga elements, either ninth house or fourth house. So basically Devata or Sukha or clear direction going forward, clarity. So overall this is a good Muhurta. And the Navamsa, by the way, let's look at the Rashi chart. People look at a lot of objective factors, metrics to judge a Muhurta, but those are really secondary in my opinion. What is primary is the Jataka Bala, the Graha Bala in the Rashi, Navamsa, etc. chakra. So if you look at the Rashi chakra, the fourth house Lord, Mars, Moon is exalted in the second house, which is very, very auspicious. You want, given the history of this controversy, etc., how long it was litigated, you want basically things to go smoothly. So the fourth house of Sukhasthana should be strong. So fourth lord is exalted, and most important aspect of this chart is Lagna contains the ninth lord Jupiter. So Jupiter is in the first bhava. So ninth and 12th lord. So that is extremely auspicious. Moreover, there is a parivartana between Mars and Jupiter. So the Lagna Lord and the ninth Lord. So that's a Lakshmi Yoga as well as a very powerful Raj Yoga. It is basically very good for any work relating to Devatas. And also 11th house of fructification of desires is basically occupied by its own Lord in Moola Trikona, Shani. So it is very powerful. And the 5th Lord of fame, Sun, even though in an inimical sign, he is in the 10th house. Moreover, Sun in the 10th house gives Abhijit Yoga. But the thing is, if you look at the actual longitude, Sun is not really in the 10th house. He is actually in the 9th house. So the Abhijit Yoga is actually very moderate. But the thing is, the Lagna Lord Mars and the 5th Lord Sun in the 9th house is actually a very powerful combination. So overall, this is and by the way, Rahu in the 12th house is also good because he's a Badhaka Lord. He's one of the two Badhaka Lords. So Badhaka Lord in 12th basically shows Badha running its course. So overall, this is a very powerful Rashi chart. And if you look at the Navamsa, by the way, looking at a small video clip by the astrologer, the Kashi Varanasi astrologer who picked this Muhurta, he thought it was Vrishchika Lagna because he must be using Lahiri Ayanamsa. As I emphasized many times, Lahiri Ayanamsa was created by N.C. Lahiri, who was not even an astrologer, just a bureaucrat. He happened to be a friend of Nehru. So he was basically heading a committee to standardize the definition of festivals, and he ended up unwittingly changing the course of astrology in India. So it's absolutely nonsensical. So if you use the correct Ainamsa, it is actually not Vrishchika Lagna, but it is Dhanu Lagna, which is actually better. If you look at the Dhanu Lagna, Lagna Lord Jupiter is in the 9th house of Dharma and Devata with Ketu. So Guru and Ketu combination in the 9th house, and the 9th Lord in a Kendra. And there is a Parivartana between 4th Lord of clear direction and 9th Lord of Devata. So this is a very powerful and auspicious chart. And also the 10th Lord, even though he is afflicted, he is actually, by the way, there is a lot of distance between Mercury and Moon. So practically Mercury is not afflicting Moon is not afflicting Mercury. So 10th Lord Mercury exalted in the 10th house is also very good for karma. So overall, this is a powerful Navamsa chart also. And also with the Dhanu Lagna in the Navamsa, if you take Rashitulya Navamsa, Navamsa Tulya Rasi also, the charts are very powerful. So overall, this is a very powerful chart, and the strength of the Lagna and the 9th house in both Rasi and Navamsa strongly suggests that a powerful presence of the Devata will be established in that particular place over time, actually at that time itself, and actually growing over time. So this is a very powerful Muhurta. And let us look at the impact on India's chart. Let us see where Jupiter is. He is at around 13.5 degree Aries, and Saturn at around 12.5 degree Aquarius. So if you look at the chart of India, let us quickly look at the Tithi Pravesh chart of India for 2023. If you look at the Tithi Pravesh chart of India, you can see that in the D20 chart. In the case of individuals, D20 shows your religious activities. For a country, it shows the religious and dharmic stuff happening, things relating to temples, etc., temples, churches, mosques, etc., in the country. If you look at the Tithi Pravesh chart of 2023-2024 for India, you will see that the Lagna, the 10th house is very strong. It contains 9th Lord Venus and the 7th Lord, 7th and 4th Lord Jupiter. So basically 4th and 9th Lords are together. There is a conjunction between Jupiter and Venus in the Vimshamsa chart. Mars also joins them, and because of the Parivartana between Mars and Mercury, he acts as though he is in one house. So practically the 9th Lord, 10th Lord and 4th Lord, and of course 7th Lord, they are together in the 10th house. So the 10th house is a really powerful house in this chart. Basically, what does 10th house show? It shows karma. So some work, some important work relating to religion is happening in the country. Let us look at the daily chart also. If you look at daily chart before 12:30 p.m. on January 22, if you look at the daily Tithi Pravesh chart, the chart starts in the evening of January 21, and if you look at this chart, The ninth lord Jupiter is in the ninth house in Mula Trikona. So the Devata Sthana is very, very strong, and the 10th lord Saturn is in the 5th house. So basically, some fame and good mood, good emotions relating to the work, religious work, and Moon, the 4th lord, and Jupiter, the 9th lord, are in Samsaptaka. Of course, Sun is also there. Sun is the 5th lord. So there is a Dhimanta yoga here between 5th and 6th lord, 4th and 5th lord, Raj yoga, 9th lord. So powerful Raj yogas and Gajgesari yoga on the 9th house axis. Again, the 4th house of clear direction and the 9th house of Devata and blessings and protection from God are involved in this Raj yoga. So you can see that in the daily chart, in the annual chart, etc., there are clear indications that this is a very auspicious day for India in religious terms. And if you look at the Netal Chart of India, you see that, let us look at the, in the D20 chart, Sun is around 17 degree Aries and Moon is at 17 degree Leo. So Jupiter is transiting over the Sun and aspecting Moon at the time of the event. And Sun is the 7th lord and Moon is in the 7th house. So 7th house is being triggered by Jupiter in transit, and 7th house shows desire. So in religious matters, a deep desire of the country is being fulfilled by this transit of Jupiter. And if you look at the Navamsa chart also, if you look at the Navamsa chart, you will see that the 5th lord Moon and the 9th lord Mars are in Sagittarius and Leo, and their longitudes are 16 degrees and 17 degrees. So again, Moon, Jupiter at around 17.5 degrees is basically triggering, aspecting these two planets basically. So in dharmic matters, 5th and 9th show the Purva Punya, the blessings from previous incarnations of India, previous existence of India before this independence. So those are basically being fructified by Jupiter. But most importantly, even more than that, look at the D60 chart. Shashtyamsa shows the deep karmas that are basically being carried by an individual, or in this case, this nation, the modern nation of India. And if you look at this chart, the 9th lord Mercury is in the Lagna. 9th lord in the Lagna shows some protection, some blessings from the past. And if you look at the longitudes, this Mercury is around 11 degrees. So Mercury is around 11 degrees. And where is Venus, by the way? I'm just curious. Yeah, Venus is at 17.5 degrees. So there is a powerful Rajoga between 9th lord Mercury and the Lagna lord Venus. The Samasaptaka between them is a very powerful Rajoga. And Jupiter is over this Venus and very closely aspecting this 9th lord in Lagna, Mercury. So basically, that way also he triggers the Purva Punya of the country. So overall, this is a very, very, very auspicious event for the country, and we can conclude that this is triggering some really positive karmas in the destiny of the country, and as a result we can conclude. And moreover, I analyzed India's chart and long-term charts in the past. I will also do another video that shows why India suffered for 1,000 years and why India is about to rise. But I did a 20-year chart of India in a previous video where I showed that India is destined to rise. So it is coming at that time, and also based on the transits, it is triggering some really auspicious karmas in India's auspicious blessings in India's chart. And let us quickly look at the chart of Sri Narendra Modi. Let us look at the Tajaka chart of 2023, which started in September 2023. And if you look at this chart, let's just stick to the Rashi chart to keep things simple. And of course, if you look at the other charts also, you will see some powerful combinations. But let's just look at the Dasha of the Rashi chart. There is a Parivartana between Mercury and Sun. So Mercury acts as though he is in one sign, and Shatrimsa Samadasha dominates in this chart. I will let you find out, analyze for yourself and conclude why. But Shatrimsa Samadasha dominates, and based on that, from December 23 till January 20, Shanidasha is running. So Shani is the 9th lord in the 9th house in ninth lord in Mula Trikona. So being the ninth lord, he basically gives blessings from Purva Punya. So, and also if you look at the Antardasya at the time, it is Rahu, Shani Rahu. So both of them are the ninth lord. So ninth lord Dasya, ninth lord Antardasya. And Rahu is also taking part in a Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga with Jupiter, because Jupiter is the 10th lord and Rahu is the ninth lord. So there's a Dharma Karma Adhipati Yoga that is aspecting the 5th house. But the thing is, because Guru and Rahu are enemies, that is probably why there is some criticism that this is undesirable, etc. But the thing is, the 9th house is triggered in his chart, and basically the blessings of devatas from the punya that he has done in the past is being triggered. And if you look at the now let's go back to the natal chart. If you look at the natal chart, if you look at the Lagna Rashi chart, natal Rashi chart has Lagna at 13.5. So Jupiter is exactly triggering Lagna. So basically, when Jupiter is exactly aspecting your Lagna or Moon, etc., it can be a very auspicious thing for you. And if you look at Dasamsha, Mercury and Saturn, actually all these three planets have a Rajoga in Lagna, 5th Lord, Lagna Lord and 7th Lord. So out of them, Mercury, he is at 10.5 degree Aquarius. So Saturn, who's the other planet taking part in the Rajoga and the Lagna Lord in Natal Dasamsha, in transit, he is in Aquarius at 12.5 degrees. So within 2 degrees, he is triggering this Mercury, who's the 5th Lord of Purva in the Dasamsha. So basically, this will give him blessings. Whatever happens around this time will trigger blessings in his chart. And if you look at the Navamsa chart, if you see the Navamsa chart, you will see that Jupiter is in Sagittarius, and Jupiter is basically being triggered. Jupiter of the natal Navamsa is being triggered by this Jupiter. Now let us look at the chart of Sri Yogi Adityanath. So again, let us see. Actually, before we go to the annual chart, let's quickly see are there any interesting planets being triggered in his chart. So if you look at the Dasamsha chart, you will see that Sun is in the 10th house. Sun is in the 10th house in his chart. So this transit of Jupiter that we mentioned is basically triggering that Sun in the 10th house. So it is actually an auspicious thing for him. But let's look at the Tajghar chart of 2023. If you look at the Tajghar chart of 2023, of course, if you look at the Dasamsha, you will see that 5th Lord is in Lagna, Lagna Lord is in the 9th house, 9th Lord is in the 5th house. So there is a very powerful exchange, three-way exchange between the trine lords. So this is a very important year for his career. But let us look at the Rashi chart. If you look at the Bhavachakra, Lagna contains Saturn is Lord, is very powerful, and Mars, Mercury and Venus, the 5th Lord, 9th Lord and the 10th Lord are together in the 10th house. So there is a Dharma Karmadhipati Yoga and also 5th Lord, 10th Lord, Rajoga in the 10th house. So it shows a lot of important dharmic work, very, very powerful work during this year. And if you look at the Dasas, Vimshotri Dasa from Tara Dasa from Saturn will dominate. Tara Dasa will dominate and from Saturn. So if you look at the Tara Dasa from Saturn, it is Mars that is running from January 14 till February 3rd. So the event is actually happening during the Saturn period, Mars period. So Mars is the 10th Lord in 10th with the 9th Lord and 5th Lord. So basically important work, very important work in which the Purva Punya is coming in, and important work relating to Dharma is taking place around this time. So we can conclude based on the correlation with India's chart, correlations with the chart of Sri Narendra Modi and also Yogi Adityanath, that this is a very auspicious event for India. This will trigger a new awakening in India, a dharmic awakening in India, and this will also be good for specifically Narendra Modi ji and Yogi Adityanath, and particularly for Yogi Adityanath, because you look at his chart, his Lagna is Cancer, just like in Sri Ramachandra's chart, and he has a Gajgesari Yoga. And in Sri Ramachandra's case, Moon was in one sign, here Moon is exalted. But basically there is a Gajgesari Yoga and Cancer Lagna, so there is some similarity with the chart of Sri Rama. So it is actually a very auspicious thing for him to be involved in the Pran Pratishtha of a Ram temple. So this will, as this temple becomes stronger and stronger, as more and more people throng this temple, and the collective consciousness is establishing the Devata more and more in that particular place, that will actually help Sri Yogi Adityanath tremendously, in my opinion. So on that note, I will end this. I will try to make videos more regularly. Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sri Krishnarpanamastu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Sarve Jana Sukhino Bhavantu. Yavat Bhumandale Sanatan Dharmo Vardhatu. Visheshata Bhartakande. America Avashe. Tibet Rashtracha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you very much, and enjoy January 22nd.